Hi everybody, here's Krystian from Team Workcast.
And I am a young Jedi named Putty.
And this is Netrunner Teamwork Cast. This is CCG. No, not Netrunner Teamwork Cast. It is CCG Archeology. Man, those reflexes. So anyway, we have a Young Jedi CCG starter pack here again, Nick.
I see Darth Maul and an Obi-Wan I want to know.
So the first one was just red. It was just a red Darth Maul and a red Obi-Wan. This time it's a blue Obi-Wan. This is the Jedi Council starter pack. So a Young Jedi, for me, I don't know, you haven't played this yet, but I played it with a couple of my friends already, and I think it's really great. We are enjoying this one quite a bit. It's like a very easy, very simple CCG, and this came out in 1999. So the first starter pack we already opened, the red one, the Menace of Darth Maul, that came out in May 99, and this one, which is the Jedi Council, that came out in October 1999.
Man. Why? This is the thing I don't understand. I guess it's still the case with like Netrunner and stuff like that. Why did they release so aggressively?
With this one is because all of these are episode 1 tie-ins.
That makes sense then.
So I guess they wanted to, like, you know, the feeding frenzy. You know, I talked about this recently, but there's like this podcast I like watching, Idle Thumbs, and they had like this theory that, or like this idea that kids these days, you know, the younger generation are much more prone to give in to hype, you know, be excited about, oh, this is going to be the best thing ever, because they haven't lived through the huge disappointment that was episode 1. Like, if you were one of the generation that stood in line for a new Star Wars movie, and then you saw it, and like, for a lot of people from our generation, you know, or like, I guess the generation before, it was... I guess after. It was, you know, episode 1 was the first movie where they realized, man, movies can be shit. So this is what it feels like when a movie is shit.
I think of the Red Letter Media, long, huge criticism. But there's like one scene where it's like George Lucas has just shown them the cut, and everybody in the room is looking like
silent.
We've just made the most shit movie ever.
How we are going to tell him that it's bad without telling. Oh, look, there's a... Oh no, my manual has been destroyed.
Oh my god!
It's the work of the Sith.
And the show now, we got to record a new episode with a new pack.
So, funny enough, like, the manual is the same manual, basically, that you got in the first pack, but it uses the cards that are actually in the pack. So really amazing attention to detail. Like, if they didn't give a damn, they could have just put the same manual in here, but they actually customized the manual to reflect the kind of cards that you get in a box.
And that layout guy's got to do something.
I guess. It's not a randomized starter.
Okay.
So it's you know, fixed cards, which is really great, and it's also 2 decks. So the red backs are for Jedi, and the blue ones for the Sith, and the blue ones are for the Jedi. So you can start playing with a friend with just 1 pack immediately. And they're also like designed in such a way that it's exactly half of a deck. Yeah. So you can combine this starter with a second starter to make like a real, you know, legal deck. Because, you know, these are half decks basically. So, or you can you can get like the first starter, the red starter, and combine it with a blue starter to get like a, you know, combine them together into like a deck.
So how do you feel? This is kind of a tangential question, but it's something that will come up in one of our later episodes. How do you feel about the art? Art versus photography.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel about this?
I really like the way, it depends on how it's treated. I really liked, I think we already talked about it in Star Trek. I really like the way it's looked in Star Trek, the CCG.
Yeah.
On this one, I'm not too hot about this. But, you know, it's okay.
I like that there's a billion pictures of Darth Maul that were never in any of in the movie, because in the movie Darth Maul shows up and he's like, "Hey,
I'm here and I'm dead.
I'm chasing after you on Tatooine. Now I'm cut in half. Woo!"
Oh, that's one of the part of the Star Wars disappointment, because you saw like the trailer where it's like, "Oh man, the new bad guy looks so awesome. I wonder what's that all about." And then you went to the movie and you go out, I don't know what happened. I don't know what that was all about.
Man, this is what I'm excited about for the new Star Wars movie, because in the one trailer, you see like this TIE fighter, and it's sitting in a hangar, and it's moving, and it's blowing things up, and stormtroopers are flying all over the screen, and you're like, oh my god. Oh my god!
Nick, what's if that's another disappointment?
Well, if it was just like Luke and his daughter sitting in Tatooine bar talking for 2.5 hours, that would be all right.
I don't know. Like episode 1 had a really great trailer and it looked like awesome, but it turned out to be so. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, let's get to the cars because this is going to be a very quick one. These are very similar cars to the first starter that we unboxed. So, you get an Obi-Wan, but this time he's a Jedi warrior. I think he wasn't a Jedi warrior before. I think it was Padawan.
Yeah.
But he has very similar stats. This time around, we have to maybe explain, like, this is basically... Oops, I lost the card. Oh my gosh, I have to pick up the card. All right, bump into the camera. All right, got this. So 3 is his power.
Okay.
3 is his power. Those little notches here is how much you have to pay for them. You have 6 credits, so to speak, or 6 resources each turn. So this is the only card you can play when you play him. 3 power is pretty powerful. And then he gets bonuses, like the little dots are added to the 3 when he's at all the different locations. So at all the locations in Coruscant, because this is a Coruscant-focused expansion. Our starter.
Yeah.
Or the location in Coruscant, he will get he is power 5. And down here is the amount of cards you have to discard when he is killed. And so he's like a very powerful card, but when he is killed, you will lose a lot because you lose the game when you are run out of cards. Mm-hmm. And up here is also kind of like a randomizer. So every now and then you have to, you draw a top card from your deck, and then you use this number and you compare it to what the enemy has drawn, what the opponent has drawn. So, drawing him in such a battle here is really bad because he just has 1 here. So, putting him in a deck, he is a very powerful fighter, but there's a lot of disadvantages going on with this guy.
I like that as a balancing mechanic.
Yeah, it's also in a Star Wars CCG, in a real CCG as well. I really like this as a mechanic. So these are locations that you can play. Again, this is just in Coruscant. So these are the Jedi Council Chamber in Coruscant. So these are the Rio Regga dudes. These are different captains, I guess. The Republic captain.
Who's this doofy guy?
Oh man, you don't recognize her?
It's a girl?
Yeah.
Wow. No.
She is.
Who is it?
She is from episode 1, the person who literally appears in the very first seconds of the movie and then dies immediately.
But they're not wearing a red shirt.
No, they're not. That's from this scene where they approach and land and they get shot immediately.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, these are basically the same cards that you get in the first one I think it's like security officers or something, and these are like Republic pilot and Republic captain. This is like a strategy card you can use to boost those guys. They get additional strength when you apply it to a Republic captain or a Republic pilot. I like this guy.
Hammerhead dudes. I'm glad that they showed up.
I think there were Jawas in the first box we opened.
Yeah.
Blaster rifle, again, the same thing as we had previously. This is the pilot. So
Vulcan.
No, he's the same guy. He's the same guy that you had in the first scene. He's also in a ship with her.
That's crazy.
They both die. They had to really scrape at the bottom of the barrel to get all those characters.
No kidding. Oh, you get multiples of them? Man, yeah. I wonder if that actor or actress has... a whole bunch of stuff. It's funny. I think the last prequel thing that I watched was like Last Stand of the Dark Side, or the Topher Grace edit, which cuts out almost the entire first movie.
Yeah, there's not a lot from the first movie.
Starts at the Darth Maul fight, and then it goes from there.
This is another location. This one is on Naboo, so this is going to be from the third expansion that we maybe open up. Another of the delegates, another blaster rifle. So these are really great. I also noticed that the blaster rifles are at least for the starter decks matchup. These are really important because this is where you draw the card from the top of the deck, and then you add the number that you have up there to the strength of the character. So this can really make a very weak character like this one, who is basically cannon fodder. This can make this guy to like a really powerful.
What an advertisement for the NRA.
Mm-hmm.
Guns make you stronger.
Powerful. Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it? So this is Tatooine. So this was from the first expansion, but you still get at least one location for each of the 3 planets because the game takes place on 3 planets.
That's good.
And so you get at least one location for those planets, and then just a lot of repeats. So it's very easy to learn. So there's not really complicated cards to learn. Like a very good mixture of just you get basically 3 different or 4 different dudes, and a couple of blaster rifles and a couple of cards to boost your guys.
That is super simple. And so the target age for this game, I imagine, is pretty low.
Yeah, I think it's playable for young people, especially because that was the demographic for the episode 1.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about this is it's very easy to learn, very easy to play. So like what we did, for example, is like when we played Netrunner and we had downtime because our turn has ended, we just played a couple of turns of this because it's so easy to play in between. So yeah, and the funny thing is like Darkside is almost identical. You get also like the strong, powerful guy that has all those disadvantages, which is Darth Maul, and a couple of locations, and you get your regular dude. Except this time it's not like the admirals, but these are battle droids this time around.
Roger.
And then you get like the card that boosts droids, as you had like previously.
Wait.
You had blaster rifles.
Is that Keira Knightley or is that Natalie Portman?
that's Keira Knightley.
Is it?
No, it's not Keira Knightley's part of this movie. What are you talking about?
Keira Knightley was in the first Star Wars, the episode.
Where?
Now I'm gonna look it up.
She's always Natalie. Nick, there's another Nick cringe moment, guys.
It is not another Nick cringe moment. OMG. Yep, there she is. She is one of Padme's little twinsy guys.
Oh my god! All right. I'm shocked by this. I'm shocked.
There you go. I've given you a screenshot of it. You can put it up right now, and I am vindicated.
So these are like the same like cannon fodder type of guys who are very weak. Another blaster rifle, and there's like 2 types of droids as we had. So I wanted to mention something that I found a bit odd. Like the decks are basically the same ones, it's just different characters that fulfill the same role, even have the same stats. There's just one difference here if you compare it. So these are basically the same guys. They have the same stats and everything. Even like they get bonuses from the same locations. So these are really the same guys. The only difference is that with the Sith side, there is this card to boost their strength, right? To boost all droids, right? And with the light side, I guess, with the Jedi, you get this card to boost their strength, right?
Yeah.
But if you combine it with the other decks, starter decks that we had, it also had droids. So you can keep using this card to boost the droids from the other starter.
Oh, okay.
But the other starter set had different types of guys, so you cannot use this card to boost these other types of guys from the starter set.
That's weird.
Other starter set. So basically, what it means that the dark side, the Sith side, is actually much more flexible because they have synergies between the different cards in the different starter sets, whereas the Jedi side doesn't have the synergies. So you only get cards that interact with the cards that you get from each individual starter set, but not with across different starter sets.
But I guess thematically that fits.
Is that true?
Well, because if you think about like Star Wars as a whole, the dark side, especially in the prequels, they're all droids or they're all clones, except for like 1 or 2 little dudes here and there, like Count Dooku or and Senator Palpatine. But like the Rebellion or the other one is this hugely diverse cast, so you have to work harder. They have to work harder to actually accomplish things.
I guess, yeah, and if you look at this way, I don't know. I don't know if maybe like the third box, which will open up eventually, has some other advantages. But because right now it seems like the dark side is a bit more powerful. So I don't know about that one.
I'm going to guess that the light side is more focused on getting out like their Jedis or their... I guess you would call it the bridge crew.
There's no bridge crew. So far, again, the cards are identical except from like this little synergy. So this is like the only difference. We have to look at like the boosters.
Yeah.
If there's maybe like differences there. But it's kind of weird because the decks are being sold as to be used against each other. So it's kind of weird that one side gets like a slight advantage there.
Well, it's funny. I guess in every Star Wars game ever, the Rebellion or the Republic is always at a disadvantage.
A bit of under guys there, right?
Yeah.
I want to mention something about the quality of the cards. First of all, they are bent a little bit, so maybe, I don't know why that is. Maybe it was like lying around for some time. And the other thing is like something that you don't get to witness because you just see the video here. They have like this ugly, oily quality.
Really?
Like if you touch them, they seem like they have been oiled with something.
Like
they have like this slimy feel to them.
Like a young child has been touching them.
Yeah, something like this, I guess. Or maybe like it was, moisturized with baby oil or something.
Well, I guess
except it's not a smell.
If they're already bowed, then they've been impacted by humidity in some way. And it's possible that the coating that they use is also impacted by humidity.
Maybe it was like some kind of special coating they put on there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out where they haven't printed. I assume it's going to be Carta Munda, as every CCG ever has been printed in. No idea, it doesn't say. Anyways, so this is the Young Jedi, the second starter set for Young Jedi. We're gonna move on to maybe this third starter set, or we're gonna actually play with those cards. So what we did in our first gameplay video is we took those cards from this starter set and combined them with the first starter set. So we created both the light side and dark side decks with those cards and the cards that you saw in our previous Young Jedi opening. And we had a go on basically on Coruscant and on what was the first one?
Tatooine?
Tatooine, yes. So it's a Tatooine Coruscant kind of play. So I don't know if we're gonna show the gameplay video first or we're gonna show the next unboxing video first. We're gonna see about that.
Yeah. Well, this game looks fun. I want to play this game.
Yes, we're going to play this eventually. I'm going to bring it with me to America when I visit you, Nick. But otherwise, until then, we're going to put this into the museum.
It does belong in a museum.
It does.
It belongs in a museum.